Hare Krishna, everyone, and I am Ashimkar. And on behalf of Bhaktivedanata Bhagavata group, I welcome everyone to this session in the auspicious month of Kartik. So please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, and all Gaudiya Vaishnava Acharyas. So today, on this very auspicious occasion, the first day of the spiritually potent month of Kartik 2020, we are pleased to have with us the representatives from ISKCON Niagara Council to virtually launch ISKCON Niagara. So we have provided the program's agenda in the chat session as well. So the main agenda for today's program is, firstly, we'll be introducing all the directors and the council members, and then we'll have a few words by the council members, and then we'll have the Gopi Geet recitation and singing by His Grace Satchidananda Das Prabhuji. Then we'll have the Damodar Katha by His Grace Satchidananda Das Prabhuji, and then we'll have the Damodarashtakam by His Grace Venkat Prabhuji, and then we'll have the closing announcement by Anup Prabhu, and then we'll open the forum for any questions or any comments, suggestions, or any reflections. So before we begin, first we would like to thank His Holiness Bhakti Marg Swami for his blessings, encouragement, and support, without which this endeavor would not have been possible. So Bhakti Marg Swami is a disciple of His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada and is popularly known worldwide as the Walking Monk. He is the governing body commissioner for ISKCON Canada and director for ISKCON Niagara Falls. We also thank ISKCON Niagara Falls directors and council members who have served ardently to make this virtual launch a possibility. I am honored to introduce you to His Grace Rudradev Prabhu, director and council member of ISKCON Niagara Falls, a disciple of His Holiness Bhakti Marg Swami. He is currently also the ISKCON Toronto Temple president. He has diligently served ISKCON with great humility for the last 15 years. His personal motto is he wants to learn from others to help spread Krishna consciousness. I would like to invite His Grace Rudradev Prabhu to say a few words.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. I am your humble servant Rudradev, and inspired by His Holiness Bhakti Marg Swami, who is my guru also, he had a vision that Niagara Falls is a city where a lot of tourists comes and we can have international outreach. So we started looking at a possibility, and with Krishna's mercy, Vaishnav Prabhu settled in Niagara Falls, and later on Sachit Prabhu also reached around there, and ultimately Venkat Prabhu reached there. So we thought a good combination of sincere devotees being there, and we can start thinking about a center. So for last few years, we have been talking and trying to arrange things. Now, we have made a humble beginning. We do not have a center as yet, but soon we will have. Niagara Falls is a city where 14 million tourists come every year. And we can have a very good international outreach. We can offer yoga, meditation, and other spiritual services to the international community. Also, there is no center on the US side also. Buffalo, there is no center. So we can have some people from there also, and their people have confirmed that they'll be coming to our center as well. Then there are nearby cities like St. Catharines, Hamilton, etc., where the population is growing fast, but there is no center there of ISKCON where people can go and visit. So therefore, we thought this is the perfect time in between the two countries, we can start a center. There are many visitors which come from Canada to US and vice versa. So we can offer them a transit point. While crossing one country to another, they can stay with us, visit our center, and bless us. Not only that, Niagara Falls can offer so much to all the centers of Canada and even in US. We can organize retreat there. We can organize Sangha and ultimately a place to retire. We can even plan in future a retirement community with farming and other facilities. We seek your blessings and support to make this small center a real possibility. And I assure you, we all will be working hard to make this a reality in near future. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Hare Krishna Rudradev. Thank you so much for your kind words. And now I would like to introduce His Grace Vaishnav Das Prabhu, who is also a disciple of His Holiness Bhakti Marg Swami. He is presently director and council member of ISKCON Niagara Falls. Vaishnav Das Prabhu has served ISKCON for over 30 years. He was Vice President ISKCON Toronto, Temple, President ISKCON Brampton. He started the Sunday school at ISKCON Toronto and ISKCON Brampton. He also helped ISKCON Brampton as an authorized center for MIHE, Mayapur Institute of Higher Education. He's an excellent preacher and has given Bhakti Shastri classes at ISKCON Brampton. So I would now like to invite His Grace Vaishnav Das Prabhu to say a few words.
Hare Krishna. Thank you to Ashmim and Anu Prabhu. We are very blessed to have the association of these two Prabhus who hail from the holy land of Jagannath Puri. Welcome to our center and blessing us with your seva. So I'd like to offer my obeisances unto His Holiness Bhakti Marg Swami, also GBC for Canada, to all the Vaishnavas and all the many well-wishers who are attending this program today. Now, today marks another milestone in the amazing success story of ISKCON, the International Society for Krishna Consciousness, founded by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanata Swami Srila Prabhupada. Over 500 years ago, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Krishna, appeared on this earth in the form of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and stated that in every town and village, there will be the chanting of the holy names of God, Krishna. Now, ISKCON Niagara and the many centers to come do bear testament to that prediction. Now, the city of Niagara Falls is a major tourist destination, as Rudra Prabhu had mentioned. It attracts more than 14 million tourists each year. It has a population of over 100,000. And close by are the cities of St. Catharines, Port Erie, and Welland, and smaller towns like Fonthill and Pelham. Also, in the Niagara region, there are many attractions, like the vineyards, the amazing fruit orchards, and also historical battlefields. In Lundy's Lane, in 1812, between the Americans and the Canadians, over 1,000 people lost their lives. So, and also the Welland Canal, that's a very nice attraction that links the Lake Ontario with Lake Erie. So today, the world is faced with many, many challenges. We have the COVID-19 pandemic upon us, and we have irresponsible leaders in most of the major countries of the world. We are faced with the dread of human trafficking, drug abuse, racial divisions, and the widening economic gap between rich and poor. Depression is a major, major problem. And also we find that loneliness is creeping upon society like a plague. Now, against this background, we find that there's a dire need to awaken spirituality. I mean, ISKCON has a role to play in the awakening of spirituality, because the modern day therapies for all these problems fall short of their goal. And the only way to address that is the proven method of spiritual life, reconnecting with one's inner self. In response, In response to that, in pursuing the spirit of the mission of ISKCON, we decided to establish ISKCON Niagara. We plan to construct a magnificent temple that will attract thousands of people and allow them to connect with their inner selves. We also envisage, due to the overwhelming number of tourists, a world-class Govinda's restaurant and accommodation for the many visitors to come here. Also, we want to construct a retirement/long-term care facility. Hundreds of our devotees have virtually nowhere to go, and there may be places like Vrindavan that may be limited to accommodate these devotees. So we thought that Niagara Falls may be an ideal location for all these devotees that have served Srila Prabhupada so well. We want to take care of them, and hopefully, with the blessings of all the devotees, we may accomplish that. So I beg all of you to please give us your blessings so we can help fulfill the mission of His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanata Swami Srila Prabhupada. And now, I would also see if there's one very nice personality, Hari Har from Jagannath Puri, is present. Maybe you'd like to share a few words.
Thank you, Vaishnav Das Prabhu. And before we request Hariyar Behra, I would like to just say a few words about him as well. Hariyar Prabhu has been the ardent devotee of Lord Jagannath and follower of Prabhupada's teachings. He has been instrumental. He has actually been instrumental in the formation of this Bhaktivedanta Bhagavata group, in the group in which we have been blessed to do the virtual launch for ISKCON Niagara. So Hariyar Prabhu has been organizing the Jagannath Rath Yatra in GTA for the last 13 years under the banner of Sri Jagannath Temple, Canada, with the support of other loving devotees in the community. Due to restrictions of the COVID pandemic and no physical Rath Yatra or Seva possible, Hariyar Prabhu took the initiative to conduct weekly Bhagavad Katha via Zoom sessions. So in spite of all the despair around us, he steadfastly inspired everyone, and along with Satchidananda Das Prabhuji, he came up with the idea of weekly Katha to propagate Prabhupada's message. So he has been tirelessly and selflessly serving Lord Jagannath and the GTA community since the last 2 decades. So his dedication and devotion ultimately led to the formation of the Bhaktivedanta Bhagavata group under the mentorship of Satchidananda Das Prabhuji. So the Bhagavats group's objective is only to distribute the message of pure bhakti as propounded by Srila Prabhupada, the founder Acharya of ISKCON. So all events are online. You can watch the past discourses in the Sri Jagannath Temple Canada YouTube channel. We'll be providing a link in the chat session. And the speaker for the weekly Katha has been His Grace Satchidananda Das Prabhuji. So now I would request Hariyar Prabhuji to kindly say a few words.
Thank you very much, Asim Prabhuji. So thank you very much, Vaishnav Das Prabhuji and Rudra Prabhuji. I am so it's an ecstatic moment for me to be in the midst of the Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya. My obeisance at the lotus feet of all the devotees. If His Holiness Bhaktamarga Swami Maharaj Ji is there, my obeisance is at his feet too. So, and His Grace Satchidananda Prabhuji, to all the devotees, my obeisance at the feet of all the devotees. So it's a pride moment for all of us. ISKCON, launching of the ISKCON Niagara is another like the pillar in the vision of Srila Prabhupada. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. So as per the words of Gauranga Mahaprabhu mentioned in Krishnadas Kaviraj Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, পৃথিবীতে আছে যত নগরাদি গ্রাম সর্বত্র প্রচার হইবে মোর নাম. So I think this is going to be true word by word, and ISKCON Niagara will be, I think, is one of the best chapter, best ISKCON center in entire North America one day. So thank you so much, the honorable directors and the council member of ISKCON Niagara. Then so as Jagannath Temple, Sri Jagannath Temple Canada, and as a community, we have been associated with all the ISKCON devotees since last over more than 25 years, and with Sri Jagannath Temple Canada for last 13 years. So we have been getting the help of ISKCON devotees and on the Sankirtan group, not only from Canada, also from US for last 13 years. So see, His Grace Satchidananda Prabhuji has been helping us a lot in the Harinam Sankirtan regularly in our temple, and he has been helping and in conducting satsangs in our temple too. And we were just like at loss what to do since when the COVID-19 started, and I don't know whether you all know or not. His Grace Satchidananda Prabhu is very knowledgeable in all the Hindu scriptures and in the Gaudiya Vaishnava philosophies. So he has an authority in Bhagavatam. So when I requested him, he gives lecture and the whole session and all over like in Europe and North America, as well as including Vrindavan in India. So when I requested him, so it's difficult for him. It's not possible for Satchidananda Prabhuji to go outside the country now. I requested him to hold Bhagavad Katha here, and he immediately agreed, and he started, and we all got together and started this group. And many ISKCON devotees are in this group too. I request all to be a part of it and make this a great platform for all the Vaishnava to come and to get the happiness of each other's association. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. And once again, I am very glad to know that ISKCON is having another huge chapter, huge center in Niagara. So my obeisance at the lotus feet of Srila Prabhupada, for his vision is coming true. So that's it all. Hari Krishna.
Thank you, Harir Prabhu. So before we request Satchidananda Das Prabhuji to start our katha, so some key announcements. So this week, Thursday, November 5, on Kartik Panchami, is the disappearance of Srila Narottam Das Thakur. He was a leading acharya in the Gaudiya Vaishnava line, only disciple of Srila Loknath Goswami. Srila Narottam Das Thakur helped bring the books of Goswamis from Vrindavan to Bengal and Orissa. In Kheturi Gram, Bengal, he inaugurated the first Gaur Purnima festival after the disappearance of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He is most famous for his composition in books like Prarthana and Prem Bhakti Chandrika. Every day his songs are sung in all ISKCON temples, especially the Guru Puja. So on this auspicious occasion, we beg for Srila Narottam Das Thakur's mercy for our spiritual advancement. Also, there is a link posted in the chat to join the WhatsApp group for updates on the ISKCON Niagara Falls project and programs. Also, an important note that we'll be singing the Damodarashtakam late in this session. And while the Damodarashtakam is being sung, we'll share one of the beautiful pictures of Mother Yashoda and Little Krishna. So interested devotees can offer a ghee lamp to the computer screen during that time. So now I would like to introduce His Grace Satchidananda Das Prabhuji, who is a disciple of Nitya Lila Pravishta, His Holiness Bhakti Charuswami. He is also presently the council member of ISKCON Niagara Falls. Satchidananda Das Prabhuji has been associated with ISKCON for over 30 years. He is twice initiated by His Holiness Bhakti Charuswami. He has performed various services in ISKCON, Pujari Seva, Sunday feast cooking, teaching harmonium to Sunday school kids. His forte is Kirtan, Bhajan, lectures and seminars on Bhagavad Gita, Vaishnav Vajans, Srimad Bhagavatam, and Gaudiya Vaishnav teachings. So he has been invited to speak on spiritual subject matters, conducting many preaching tours, delivering various seminars and lectures at various ISKCON centers globally. To name a few, India, Canada, USA, Russia, Sweden, Belgium, France, Netherlands, Germany, Switzerland, and Mexico. So he's dedicated to the service of His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada, by sharing Srila Prabhupada's teachings and glories. Satchidananda Das Prabhuji has been conducting Srimad Bhagavatam sessions every Sunday for the Bhaktivedanta Bhagavat group for the past few months, and even conducts sessions midweek on special occasions such as Radhastami. So Prabhuji has been giving a detailed discourse on the beautiful pastimes of Lord Jagannath, and he did that on the occasion of Rath Yatra 2020. Post that, Prabhuji has been giving detailed narrations on the introduction of Srimad Bhagavatam, and we have started with the first two verses of Srimad Bhagavatam. So Prabhuji not only provides a deep and elaborate explanation for each verse with a lot of enthusiasm and vigor every week, but he also, like a sincere emissary of Srila Prabhupada, takes a deep interest in clarifying the questions and queries of each and every participant with utmost detail. And he ensures to take feedback from every participant and always strives that Prabhupada's message reaches one and all. So I take this opportunity to thank Prabhuji again for this special mercy on all of us. So as mentioned in the last session, Satchidananda Das Prabhuji, in the last our Sunday session, due to the auspicious month of Kartik, well known as Damodar month, will be dedicating today and the rest of the Sundays of this month towards the Damodar Lila Katha and deep understanding of Damodarashtakam. Also in this month of Kartik, the Vaishnavas sing Damodarashtakam and the GOPI Geet. So now I would like to invite His Grace Satchidananda Das Prabhuji to sing the GOPI Geet and commence the Katha on part 1 of the Damodar Lila. Hare Krishna.
Namo Vishnupādaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Śrīmate Bhaktivedanta Swamiti Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharini Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatharini Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Pada Kamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavascha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajeevam Sadadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Shri Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Pada Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakha Vitanscha Jai Jai Srila Prabhupada Jai 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 Srila Prabhu. Vanchakalpatarobhascha kripa sindhubhyaeva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. In this most auspicious month of Kartik, the Gaudiya Acharyas recommend singing at least these two wonderful songs, the Damodarashtakam and the GOPI Geet. Every year in our Krishna Balram Mandir in Sri Vrindavan Dham, over 2,000 to 3,000 devotees gather in the Krishna Hall every evening at 8 p.m. and in a chorus they all sing the Gopi Geet. Unfortunately, this year a lot of us will miss going to Sri Vrindavan Dham in Kartik. So a few devotees decided to conduct Gopi Geet every day for the whole month of Kartik at 8:30 p.m. Monday through Friday, and Saturday, Sunday at 6:30. This Gopi Geet, as you all must be knowing, is from the Rasa Pancha Maha Adhyay, the 5 chapters of Srimad Bhagavatam in the 10th canto, which represents the moon-like face of Sri Krishna. Sri Krishna, yesterday was Sharad Purnima, and Sri Krishna invited all the gopis to perform the Ras Leela dance. And during the midst of the dance, Rajendra Nandan disappears. There are very beautiful meanings of his disappearance, mainly to increase the utkantha. Some say that it is because the gopis were proud, but that is just an external reason. The main reason was to increase their vipralamba bhav, or their separation, so that the union will be even more glorious. But the main theme of our Gaudiya Vaishnavas is service and separation. And this Gopi Geet is a wonderful prayer for devotees. In Kartik month, everybody should try to sing it. I believe in the chat box, the members of the Bhaktivedanata group have posted the link to the Gopi Geet. So devotees are welcome to avail of it and join in this wonderful song of separation. Radhika Sarodaindu Nindi Mukha Mandali Vandiye Shri Pad Padma Rishabhanandini. Jayati Vedikam Janma Ganeshu Geetashanai Priyagajimani Kartaseshu Tena tavim atasi tadavyatate natyam svita Purpabhide Brahmati Arishana Revert back to verse number 9, please. This was Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's favorite shloka. He had rejected Pratap Rudra Maharaj, and during the Rath Yatra in Jagannath Puri, he was advised by Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, Gopinath Acharya, to meet Mahaprabhu in the garden when he's resting and do some charan seva and sing this particular verse from Srimad Bhagavatam, specifically from Gopi Geet. And Mahaprabhu was so pleased, he repeated these last two lines. Hare Krishna. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, our life and soul and our Savior. On behalf of ISKCON Niagara Falls, I would like to welcome all the devotees who have taken their precious times to come today and spend with some time with the launch. My humble obeisances to each one of you. My most humble obeisances to His Holiness Bhakti Charu, Bhakti Marg Swami, and my Guru Maharaj Nityalila Pravishta Om, Srila Bhakti Charu Swami. And to the esteemed council members of this ISKCON Niagara Falls project, Vaishnav Das Prabhu, Rudradev Prabhu, Venkat Prabhu. And I also offer my humble obeisances to all the senior Vaishnavas, Srila Prabhupada disciples, and those who have dedicated many, many years of service to this glorious movement of Srila Prabhupada, the International Society for Krishna Consciousness. The vision and mission for this movement is, for especially this ISKCON Niagara Falls, is to assist and enhance with the objective of serving Srila Prabhupada's mission, who is continuously fulfilling the desire and the predicament of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. As Mahaprabhu had predicted about 500 years ago, Prithvi Aje Yata Nagaradi Gram Sarvatra Prachar Hoibe Mor Nam. And Srila Prabhupada was instrumental in fulfilling the desire of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Just like when we recite the pranam mantra of Rupa Goswami, Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam, Sthapitam Jena Bhutale, Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam, Dadati Swapadantikam. Rupa Goswami understood the inner core of the heart of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So Chaitanya Mano Abhishtam. The mana or the mind is in the core of the heart. Srila Prabhupada explains that. So within the core of the heart of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, whatever those desires were, Rupa Goswami established them. And we pray, when will we get the shelter of his lotus feet? Similarly, His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada fulfilled the inner core of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's heart's desire of establishing in every town and village Bhagavat-vani, the holy name. Before I go into today's main topic, it would be a little bit, I would say, contempt on my part if I do not kind of reiterate the wonderful 7 purposes of ISKCON, our movement that Srila Prabhupada has built on systematically propagating spiritual knowledge, not something haphazard, based on Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, and the higher books of studies like Chaitanya Charitamrita, and the books and literatures of the Goswamis, and to educate all people in the techniques of spiritual life. In today's world, especially those who call themselves Hindus, actually Hindu is a word, the word Hindu is a misnomer. We have discussed that in our Bhaktivedanta Bhagavat classes. It is the English calling the settlement across the Indus River Hindus, and then it became Hindus. We are Sanatan Dharmis, eternal religion, based, propounded on the teachings of the Vedas, and especially Srimad Bhagavatam. The Vaishnavas follow those principles. And if we really look at it, like Vaishnava Das Prabhu mentioned, globally, what is happening? It is really a shame that even those who are born in Sanatan Dharma, if you stop them on the street in India or anywhere else in a mall in the United States or in Canada, and you ask them, can you tell me how many verses are there in the Srimad Bhagavad Gita or Srimad Bhagavatam? Or can you tell us a little bit about Lord Krishna? And why are you a Sanatan Dharmi or Hindu? I hate to use that word. Oh, I don't know, because I was born Hindu. So this is our position. So Srila Prabhupada created this ISKCON movement to systematically educate all people in the techniques of spiritual life. And there is no movement as glorious as ISKCON. I am proud to say that, because not I'm a part of ISKCON, because I have practically from our childhood, we have been born in Vaishnava family, in the Pushti Marg Sampradaya. And there is no preaching. Krishna is the Lord. My grandmother was the ardent worshipper of Krishna, but I never understood why is the Supreme Lord. My neighbor worshipped Hanumanji, and then there were several people in my building who worshipped Ganeshji, and then there are so many festivals in India, and that really confused me. There was no systematic preaching until I came across His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada's books. And this is about 31 years ago when I joined this glorious movement in Chicago. So systematic education and the techniques of spiritual life is one of the purposes of ISKCON. And right now, all over the world, the ISKCON movement is growing so nicely with so many temples, like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu predicted, in every town and village. And there are so many preaching centers and bhakti vrikshas or home programs that propagate the message, the pure message, with the systematic way that Srila Prabhupada taught. And also, Srila Prabhupada's mission was to propagate Krishna consciousness as revealed, especially in these 2 books, Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam. And why is that? If we really think about it deeply, Bhagavad Gita tells us that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And it is like when you know the opulence of a particular entity, one gets attracted, because that is so natural in this material world. We are always attracted to some kind of opulence, whether it is name, fame, beauty, money, knowledge, etc. Similarly, Bhagavad Gita educates not only about the basics of the spirit science of spirituality, the soul, etc. Of course, it deals with the 5 major subject matters that we all know. It is time, it is karma, paramatma, atma, and prakriti. So these are the 5 subject matters, which is the fundamentals of spiritual life. No matter what path one wants to follow in Vaishnavism, Bhagavad Gita is going to be the fundamental pillar. So Srila Prabhupada always, mainly, he spoke from Bhagavad Gita, educating everybody. And Prabhupada used to stress, just try to understand what Krishna is saying. He used to educate everyone saying, Sri Bhagavan Uvacha, the Supreme Personality of God as Sri Krishna spoke. That would actually kill all the different ideas of Mayavads and Brahmavads and different philosophies that were against Mahaprabhu's teachings and against the teachings of Rupa Goswami. Srila Prabhupada's Gurudev, Srila Bhaktivedanta Saraswati Thakur, in his Pranam Mantra, in the end it says, Rupa Anuga Viruddha Apasiddhanta Dvanta Harine. Those who actually opposed the line of Rupa Anuga, or Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's line, anybody who opposed that, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur was also very dearly known as the Simha Guru, the Lion Guru, would cut to pieces all those arguments and philosophies. And Srila Prabhupada followed in his footsteps, and he established this ISKCON movement to reveal the Krishna consciousness through Bhagavad Gita, and then as we advance, Srimad Bhagavatam. In the Bhaktivedanta Bhagavat group, for the last 13 Sundays, we have been discussing verse number 1 and 2 of Srimad Bhagavatam. Very, very deep by the mercy of Guru and Gauranga. And in the very first verse itself of the Srimad Bhagavatam, there are 6 darshans that we get. Obviously, I don't have the time to go into it, but if anybody has any questions later on, I can address that. But the most important part of Srimad Bhagavatam is establishing the Krishna that the Gaudiya Vaishnava Acharyas worship. The Gaudiya Vaishnava Acharyas worship Aradhyo Krishna, Aradhyo Bhagwan Vrajesha Tanayas. There are so many different avatars of Krishna, and there are many types of Krishna also. This is amazing. If you read the purport of Srila Prabhupada's bhajan, when he sang that, Bhajahu Remana Sri Nanda Nandana Abhay Charanaravindare, in the songbook, many years ago, I had read Srila Prabhupada, there was one purport that, oh my mind, please worship the son of Nanda Maharaj. So Prabhupada says, we are only concerned with the son of Nanda Maharaj. There are many types of Krishna. So there is Vasudev Krishna, who appeared in the jail of the Kamsa, where Devaki and Vasudev were held in hostage by Kansa. And the personality that appeared in the jail of Kansa is Vasudev Krishna, the son of Vasudev. But Nandanandan Krishna, he appeared in Gokul. Twins appeared to Yashoda Mai. Rupa Goswami has mentioned this in the Bhagavad Amrita Nectar. Satchidananda Goswami has also mentioned that. Jiva Goswami has mentioned it in Vishwanath Chakravarti's commentaries. This Guhya, or this very special information, secret information, has been mentioned. Also, the Harivamsha has mentioned this particular, the Yashoda mother gave birth to 2. Her own son, Sri Krishna, known as Nandanandan or Yashoda Nandan, that we Bhaktivedanata Thakur, we sing from Gitavali, Jai Radha Madhav, Kunja Bihari, Yashoda Nandana Vraja Jana Ranjana. That Yashoda Nandan is actually, he was born of Yashoda Mata's womb along with Yogamaya. And when Vasudev came to Gokul, Yogamaya covered him, and in the dark, he kept Nandanandan Krishna covered. Yogamaya, she kept Nandanandan Krishna covered, and thinking that Yashoda gave birth to only one baby girl, he replace that baby girl with Vasudev Krishna. This is a very, very important information that I would like to share, because we are all Gaudiya Vaishnavas and we have to know what Gaudiya Vaishnavism is. And this is what Srimad Bhagavatam, the secret purports. And that is what Srila Prabhupada wanted us to graduate from Bhagavad Gita, from Vasudev Krishna to Nandan Krishna through study of Srimad Bhagavatam, and further on into Chaitanya Charitamrita that glorifies the gopis of Vrindavan, that glorifies the topmost gopi, Srimati Radharani. And that is the purpose of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's coming here, Krishna's coming. He took the bhav of Radharani. That was the internal reason. The external reason, of course, we all know. Ajanu lambita bhujo kanakaya dhato sankirtanai pitaro kamalayo taksho vishwambaro dijavaro yuga dharma paro vande jagata priya karo karuna avtaro. In the Chaitanya Bhagavat, Vrindavan Das Thakur opens with the Mangalacharan with this particular shloka. He's saying that those two brothers, personalities with long hands, Ajanu lambita bhujo, extending to their knees, who had beautiful complexion, golden complexion, and beautiful lotus-like eyes. Sankirtanai Pitaro, they are the founders or the fathers of the Sankirtan movement. And they are Vishwambharo. They are actually the caretakers of the whole world. They are the providers, Vishwambhara, Dvijavaro, and they appear to the best of the Brahmins. And Nilambar Chakravarti and Jagannath Pandit, they appeared. They were two topmost Brahmanas, Dvijavaro, and they also were perfect Brahmanas, the head of the Brahmanas, Yuga Dharma Palo. And they propagated the Yuga Dharma of Sankirtan. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. This Yuga Dharma is basically is Mahaprabhu's external mood leading to the internal mood of Chaitanya Charitamrita, which was especially enacted in the last 12 years in Jagannath Puri in the Gambhira. However, that is the reason why Srila Prabhupada stressed on this, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also stressed that Aradhyo Bhagwan Vrajeshatanayas. If you want to worship somebody, then please worship that only Krishna who is the son of Nanda Maharaj. Vrajesh, the king of Vrindavan is Vrajesh, meaning Nanda Maharaj. Tanaya means the son. Aradhyo Bhagwan Vrajeshatanayas. And if you want to worship amongst all the dhams, Tat Dham Vrindavanam, please worship Vrindavan Dham. And Ramya Kachid Upasna Vrajavadu Vargena Tayakalpita. If you want to follow in the footsteps of somebody for perfect worship, follow in the footsteps of the Vrajavadu Varga, meaning the gopis. Vrajavadu means the gopis of Vrindavan. That is the bhav of the Gaudiya Vaishnavas. And if you want to study any book, then Srimad Bhagavatam, Purana Amalam, Prema Pumartho Mahan, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhur Mataidam, Na Yatra Agraha Paraha. This is the opinion of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. There is no need for any other need for me to go into any other scriptures, because Srimad Bhagavatam has everything in it, from the philosophy to the highest rasa. And it is the opinion of Chaitanya. Srimad Bhagavatam, this Srimad Bhagavatam is Purana Amalam. There are many Puranas, but this is the Amal. Mal means something that has a spot or a dirt, and Amal means spotless Puran. So this is the purpose of ISKCON, and that is why Srila Prabhupada, and he wanted to bring all the members of the society together with each other to be nearer to Krishna. Very, very important point. And nowadays, sometimes we have this very subtle groupism, and that is not the recommended way. Sometimes some of us, our God brother, our God sisters group. No, we are, as a matter of fact, those who have studied that bhajan that we are singing continuously so many times in ISKCON, Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu, Daya Karo More, Tuma Vina Ke Dayalu, Jagata Samsare. At the end, Narottam Das Thakur mentions that Daya Karo Sri Acharya Prabhu Sri Nivas, Ramachandra Sangamange Narottam Das. Narottam Das Thakur is asking for association of Srivas Acharya. He was one of the the students under Jiva Goswami, he was not even initiated by the same guru, because Narottam Das Thakur was initiated by Loknath Goswami, and Srinivas Acharya was initiated by I think it was Gadadhar Pandit. He was initiated by that. Yes, actually, he is the disciple of Gadadhar Pandit. But they were instructed along with Krishnadas or Shamanand Pandit to go to Vrindavan and study the scriptures under Jiva Goswami, under the Siksha Guru. And in Seva Kunj, today where the Radha Damodar temple, Ghera is, that is the Seva Kunj, the area. And that's where Jiva Goswami taught the higher esoterics, and not only Tattva, but what he had learned from Rupa Goswami and Sanatan Goswami. So the gurus gave them permission to go to Jiva Goswami. And then at the time of the separation song, he remembers that, oh, this was my Siksha brother under Jiva Goswami, not even initiated by the same guru. Daya karo, please have mercy on me. Just see the humility, just see the bhav. And that is the same. And then he's also asking Ramachandra Sangamange Narottam Das. This Ramachandra is not Lord Ramachandra, the husband of Sita Devi. No, this Ramachandra is Ramachandra Kaviraj. He was a disciple of Narottam Das Thakur's, and actually Ganganarayan Chakravarti. And Ganganarayan Chakravarti's disciple is Ramachandra Kaviraj. So he was like the second generation. How much love we had for the second generation that he was even saying Ramachandra. When Ramachandra Thakur Kaviraj disappeared, actually Narottam Das Thakur composed this song, Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Doya Karo More. So it is actually, the song is dedicated to Ramchandra Kaviraj. So what is the lesson for all of us? All of us are in this glorious movement of Srila Prabhupada. And one of the 7 purposes of Srila Prabhupada's ISKCON movement is that we have to encourage each other to bring all the members of the society together with each other and nearer to Krishna. We have to understand this one very important principle, that one Acharya has mentioned this, I had heard this, that who is a guru? One very simple question. And he answered this in the most simplest way. And I've taken this to my heart and I'm sharing this with you. He answered this in one line: whoever brings you closer to Krishna is guru. Whoever brings you closer to Krishna is guru. So we have so many types of gurus. It can be our parents from birth. It can be that Vaishnava who introduced us, the Pada Prakshalan Guru, who introduced us to Krishna consciousness. It can be whom we are deriving Siksha from. It could be the initiating spiritual master who also gives us Siksha. So this is our mood. And there are many, actually speaking in our Sampradaya, Bhaktivedanta Thakur's Gurudev, if we see on the altar, he was not initiated by Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj in the Harinam Mahamantra. No, nor with the Brahma Gayatri. No, he was a Siksha Guru. Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj was not initiated by Srila Bhaktivedanta Thakur. But we consider the importance of Siksha because he used to hear Srimad Bhagavatam in Navadvip from Bhaktivedanta Thakurji. He had surrendered to Bhaktivedanta Thakur. And Bhaktivedanta Thakur was considered, he considered himself as a Siksha Guru. So this is a very, very important point. Through Srila Prabhupada's 7 purposes of the ISKCON movement, it says to bring the members of the society together with each other and nearer to Krishna. See, this is our goal, not to drive people away from Krishna, but to bring them nearer to Krishna and thus develop the idea within the members of this society and for humanity at large that each soul is a part and parcel of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Srila Prabhupada is a Mahabhagavat, one who speaks scripture and one who actually behaves as per scripture is known as Bhagavat. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also said, Bhagavat Shuno Bhagavat Sthane. One should hear Bhagavat from a Bhagavat, one who practices the teachings of Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavad Gita. And Srila Prabhupada used to speak on this verse, Mamayamsha Jiva Loka, Jiva Bhuta Sanatana. Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita that every Jiva is my part and parcel. So similarly, Srila Prabhupada mentions in the 7 purposes of ISKCON that for all humanity at large, because everybody is a part and parcel of Sri Krishna, Mamai Ansha, Krishna says. And then Srila Prabhupada's purpose was also to teach and encourage the Sankirtan movement that was so dear to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. It is through congregational chanting of the holy names we will be able to enter into the internal mood, from sadhana bhakti to raganuga bhakti. And that's how we will make our Srila Prabhupada very proud. And to reveal the teachings of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. This is the purpose of the pure teachings in the bhav of Vraj, in the bhav of Radharani and the Vrajvasis and the Gopis. What pure bhakti is, what pure devotional service is, that is what Prabhupada's mission is. And he also wanted to erect for the members of the society, for the people, a holy place of transcendental pastimes. Very, very important. And this is one of the purposes of this today's launch, ISKCON Niagara Falls. Eventually, because of COVID, we are unable to actually have a physical location where we can congregate and we can be safe. So on this first day of Kartik, the council members and with the blessings of His Holiness Bhakti Mark Swami, we launched ISKCON Niagara Falls. And we continue to ask for your support and blessings so that we can all grow together in Srila Prabhupada's mission. So a holy place for transcendental pastimes dedicated to the personality of Godhead. So every temple of ISKCON is Vaikuntha. It is Golok Vrindavan. We have to understand. Bhaktivinod Thakur says that Jai Dine Grihe Bhajan Dekhi Grihe Te Golok Bhaya. Wherever there is bhajan, there is Sankirtan, that place becomes Golok Vrindavan. So, and then the other purpose was to bring the members closer together for the purpose of teaching a simple and a more natural way of life. Srila Prabhupada wanted that, like the communities, farm communities, New Vrindavan, etc. And that is one of the visions of the ISKCON Niagara Falls, that hopefully, my dear Krishna, if you so desire, my dear Srila Prabhupada, if you so desire, we can have this vision of Srila Prabhupada completed, by establishing a wonderful temple with, like as Vaishnav Das Prabhu and Rudra Prabhu mentioned, because it's an international location. It's on the border and millions of tourists come. It is one of the 7th wonders of the world, Niagara Falls. And for people like us, sometimes even when we take our friends and family to Niagara Falls, it is very hard for us to find a good, pure vegetarian place to take a snack or a lunch or a dinner. So this would be very perfect, if we can eventually open up a nice ISKCON center with a beautiful Govindas. Like there's so many wonderful Govindas restaurants all over the world that are actually spreading Srila Prabhupada's mercy and Mahaprabhu's mercy through prasadam, and a place for accommodation and a place of worship and other different wonderful sattvic activities that will eventually help in elevating the consciousness of all. And then, last but not the least, obviously, Srila Prabhupada's mission was towards achieving those aforementioned purposes and to publish and distribute books, Krishna conscious books, and writings of pure bhakti based in the line of Rupa Goswami and based on the line of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So that is the purpose of ISKCON. I'm sure there's a lot of guests who are not familiar with ISKCON, so I thought I would touch on it. And obviously, those who are involved with ISKCON, some new, and for some for many, many years, I guess this will be something that we should need to hear again and again so that we can realize Srila Prabhupada's real mission that is there. Now, also, this is the month of Kartik. So a happy Kartik to all of you. May it bring lots of bliss and spiritual and for your spiritual lives and for progress in your spiritual life. So very briefly, I will touch on some of the important Mahatmya or the importance of Kartik. Aren't we all looking for advancement, whether it is a materialist or maybe one is a practicing spiritualist? We're all looking for advancement. And definitely devotees are looking for spiritual advancement. So this Damodar Vrat, or the month of Damodar, is the most important Vrat for the Gaudiya Vaishnavas. It has become famous by the name of Damodar month because, as you all know, Dam means a rope and Udar means stomach. And Mother Yashoda tied up Krishna because of his naughtiness to a grinding motor, and because his belly was tied, he's known as Damodar. Also, there are other deeper meanings of the word Damodar, which as we are going to, as Asimkar Prabhu had mentioned, we are dedicating this entire month on behalf of ISKCON Niagara Falls and Bhaktivedanta Bhagavat group, the month of Kartik, narrating the sweet pastimes of Lord Damodar based on the teachings of Sanatana Goswami, Jiva Goswami, Srila Prabhupada, and with the Gaudiya Ras and Bhav. We're going to try dive deep into it every time we, every Kartik, every day, and some of the devotees sing Damodarashtakam twice a day. And we read the translation. And that's wonderful, the translation that we have in the Vaishnava songbook, etc. But about 6 or 7 years ago, when I got the opportunity to dive deep into this, and my hair stood on an end when I understood, and when I tried to dive deep into the katha and the different aspects of the Damodarashtakam as explained by the 6 Goswamis, especially Jiva Goswami and Sanatana Goswami and Gopal Bhatta Goswami in their books Gopal Champu and the Digdarshini of the Hari Bhakti Vilas. So what I plan to do is wherever I finish, maybe I will be able to just start a little bit of the Damodar Lila today, and it will continue for the next 3 Sundays. So those who are interested to dive deep into and try to understand, because every word of Damodarashtakam has a lot of rasa, a nectar in it, besides what we read as the translation. And by the grace of Guru Gauranga, for the last 3 years in Kartik, when I've been going to Sri Vrindavan Dham, the ISKCON Balram Mandir, Krishna Balram Mandir, they have invited me, and they give me about 3 days to conduct this Damodarashtakam Leela and to explain the Damodarashtakam. And by the grace of Guru Gauranga, Srila Prabhupada, and all the senior Vaishnava Srila Prabhupada disciples, it has been very well received. And I'm hoping that today's katha, when I started after the Kartik Mahatmya, I hope it is very pleasing to all the Vaishnavas assembled, and perhaps it will enlighten each one of us. And next time we sing Damodarashtakam, it will bring us immense joy and enlightenment. And in a prayerful mood, we will understand what this Damodarashtakam is all about. So that is the reason. So Satyavrat Muni has eternally perfected this Damodarashtakam and is a part of the Padma Puran. He is the compiler of this Damodarashtakam that we sing. And this was recorded by Vyasdev, Ved Vyas. And therefore, all our acharyas, especially in the Gaudiya Sampradaya, have prescribed this singing it every day during the month of Kartik. And if we are serious about pleasing Kartiki, who is Kartiki? Srimati Radharani. Very important. She is the presiding goddess of this month. It is the month of Damodar, but she is the presiding goddess of the month. And this is given in the shlokas of Hari Bhakti Vilas. In the Skanda Puran, Lord Brahma and sage Narad Muni discuss about the glories of the month of Kartik, how dear it is to Radharani, how dear it is to Sri Krishna. It is dear to Sri Krishna because it is dear to Radharani. Anything dear to Radharani is dear to Sri Krishna. So if one offers a lamp during this month of Kartik, a ghee lamp, his sins of thousands and millions of births from Anadikal, since time immemorial, will perish in half an eye blink. It is called half an eye blink in Sanskrit. It is called Nimesh. Nimeshardhakyo va vrajati na yatrapi samayah bhaje shweta deepam tamaham iha golokamitiyam vidantaste santa shitiviralacharah katipaye. Brahma Samhita, verse number 56. It's half the verse that I've mentioned, but this word Nimesh occurs. Nimesh means the blinking of an eye. And Nimesh Ardhakyo means half. So here Naradji and Brahmaji are saying that within a half a blink of an eye, all the sinful reactions will be nullified, and they will vanish if we offer a ghee lamp during the month of Kartik to the deity of Damodar. Even if there is no mantras, we don't know, or no pious deeds, and no purity. It doesn't matter. Everything becomes perfect when one offers a lamb during the month of Kartik. So my humble request to all the devotees, of course, you all must be doing it, no doubt, but encourage others also. Encourage your family members, encourage your friends. It doesn't matter from what walks of life they are. Simply, and if they don't have a picture of Yashoda Damar, please give them, gift them. This is one of the best gifts that you all can give. Send them something online. Tell them you can just open up the JPEG image and offer a ghee lamp. It takes 2 minutes, and nowadays everything is available, including the words of the Damodarashtakam compiled by Satyavrat Muni. So a person during this month of Kartik, when we offer a lamp to Keshav or Krishna, has already performed all kinds of yajnas. That like in Srimad Bhagavatam, that verse is there. Vasudeva Paraveda, Vasudeva Param Makaha, Vasudeva Param Jnanam, Vasudeva Param Tapa, etc. So Vasudeva Param Makaha. Makaha means yajna. So the goal is Vasudeva. So when one offers one deep, it is as good as performing all kinds of yajnas, sacrifices for the pleasure of Lord Krishna. Everything that we do, it should be for the pleasure of Krishna. And that's what Srimad Bhagavatam. And also, as if we have bathed in all the 7 holy rivers. The ancestors also have taught us this, that if one pleases Lord Damodar Keshav by offering a ghee lamp during the month of Kartik, then by the mercy of Radharani and Damodar, whoever holds, and Krishna holds the Sudarshan Chakra in his hand, he will always attain liberation. So just like Prahlad Maharaj, he not only himself got liberated eventually by Nrsimhadev Bhagavan, but generations in the past and present. Similarly, if we love our family members, our friends, then we should not fail to offer a ghee lamp during the Damodar month, because it will benefit everyone that we care for. That's what the elders say based on the teachings of the Shastra. And to one who either at home or in a temple offers a lamp during the month of Kartik, Lord Krishna gives them a wonderful spiritual result. A person who offers a lamp to Lord Krishna during the month of Damodar or Kartik becomes very glorious and fortunate. What does that glory mean and fortunate mean? Not money. If we go into the, yes, you can get wealth also, worshipping Krishna. Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, Arti, Artharti, Jnani, and Jigyasu. 4 kinds of people come to me, and Krishna grants them those wishes. But based on our teachings of our acharyas, that fortune is obtaining the service, pure devotional service in the line of Rupanuga. That is our fortune. Like Bhaktisiddhanta Prabhupada's favorite bhajan was Narottam Das Thakur's composition, Shri Rupa Manjari Pada Shai Mora Sampada Shai Mora Bhajana Pujana Shai Mora Bhajana Pujana. If you examine that bhajan, he has taken that is the fortune, the lotus feet of Rupa Goswami. And one who attains the lotus feet of our acharyas attains the lotus feet of Radha and Krishna in Golok, in the pastimes of Sri Vrindavan, in their intimate pastimes. So, and no sins exist anywhere in these 3 worlds, in this Tribhuvan, that will not be purified by offering a ghee lamp to Keshav or Damodar during the month of Kartik. A person who offers a lamp to Lord Damodar during this Kartik month attains the eternal spiritual world where there is no suffering, Vaikuntha. Vaikuntha means, Vai means no, and Kuntha means anxiety, where there is no birth, death, old age, and disease. There is no Janma, Mrityu, Jara, Vyadhi. That land is known as Vaikuntha. Kuntha means anxiety, Vai means no. And of course, Golok Vrindavan being the topmost planet in Vaikuntha Dham. In Haribhakti Vilas, Srila Sanatana Goswami Pad and Srila Gopal Bhatta Goswami, those Haribhakti Vilas is considered as the Smriti Shastra or the law book of the Vaishnavas. And they have outlined the devotional activities that have to be observed during the month of Kartik. It is very much, there's a lot of elaboration in it. And he points out there is an injunction in the Hari Bhakti Vilas that daily worship Sri Radha Damodar and recite the stotra or the prayer Sri Damodarashtakam. Radhika pratimam vipraha pujayet kartike tuva tasva tushyati tat priyay Shriman Damodar Hari itihi. This is a verse from Hari Bhakti Vilas that Sanatana Goswami Pad wrote. He said, "O Brahmins, Vipraha, during the month of Kartik, one should worship the deity of Sri Radha, and to please Radha Damodar, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he will be pleased with that worship." So Damodarashtakam has got many hidden glories. Actually, if we go deep into it, and if the devotees decide to continue on and for the next 3 sessions, we will see how Damodarashtakam actually glorifies Srimati Radharani, who is known as the Kartiki, and also known as, she is also known as Urjeshwari. This month is known as the month of Urja. The word Urja in Sanskrit means there are many different words: powerful, effulgent, etc. And Srimati Radharani is extremely powerful, and we all know that. Also, there is one very important verse in the Hari Bhakti Vilas that I would like to quote is Damodarashtakam Nama Stotram Damodara Archanam Nityam Damodar Karasi Pathet Satya Vrato Iditam. One should regularly recite this prayer called Damodarashtakam, which was spoken by Satyavrata, which attracts Lord Damodar and which describes the worship of Lord Damodar. And Lord Damodar is not only the little Damodar that Mother Yashoda typed. And as we dive deep into the Ashtakam, these things will be revealed based on the glories that have been projected by Jiva Goswami and Sanatana Goswami. We pray to Radharani every day. Tatta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye. She's Vrindavaneshwari. Vrindavan is under her control. She is Hari Priye. So this month is to please her. She is also known as Madana Mohana Mohini. Everybody is looking for Krishna. Even an atheist is looking for Krishna in the extension of Krishna's energy through Maya, in the form of wealth, name, fame, etc. So they are also indirectly looking for Krishna. Devotees are looking for Krishna. They're always trying to seek Krishna, either in one of his forms or avatars, or in his form as Vasudev Krishna or Nandanandan Krishna. But who is Radharani? Who is Krishna always looking for? Who is always Krishna seeking? He is always seeking. Madan Mohan is seeking Radharani. Madan Mohan means, we all know that Madan means Kamdev, Kandarpa, Kandarpa Koti Kamaniya Visesha Shobham, Govinda Mahadi Purusham, Tamaham Bhajami. Kam is Madan. One of the names of the Cupid is known as Madan. And Krishna's beauty is so beautiful that he even enchants Kamdev. Navanirada Nindita Kanti Dharam Raso Sagar Nagar Bhupavam Shubhavam Kimacharu Shikhanda Shikhim Bhaja Krishna Nidhim Vrajaraja Sutam. He is the ocean and the nectar and the source of all rasas. And he even puts to shame a newly formed, freshly formed cloud. He puts to shame the beauty of Cupid. That is why he's known as Madana Mohan. Madan means Cupid. Mohan means to put Cupid into enchantment, to enchant. Mohan means to enchant. So he enchants Cupid. And who enchants Madan Mohan? Radharani. Madana Mohana Mohini. Therefore, one of the names of Radharani is Madana Mohana Mohini. This is Sri Radha's month. Rupa Goswami also has composed that famous bhajan that everybody knows. Radhe Jaya Jaya Madhava Daite. Madhava Daite. What does that mean? Daite means one who is very dear to Madhav. And that is Radharani. Radhe, all glories to you. All glories to you. Who is so dear to Krishna or Madhav? The goal of Gaudiya Vaishnavas is Radha Dasyam, eventually. Right now, because we are in the sadhana bhakti, we will not realize that. Once we do our sadhana bhakti perfectly, Srila Prabhupada will open up the doors to Raganuga Bhakti. We sing this every day in Guru Puja. Chakshudana dilo jai, janme janme Prabhu sei, divya gran hriday prakashito, prema bhakti jaha hoite, avidya vinasha jade, vede gai jahara charito. Chakshudana dilo jai, janme janme savuru, no matter where we are. Once we perform our sadhana bhakti perfectly, Srila Prabhupada and our Gaudiya Acharyas, headed by Rupa Goswami, will bless us through Chaitanya Guru and through senior Vaishnavas who are Rasik Vaishnavas, and will open the doors to Raganuga Bhakti in the footsteps of the Vrajvasis. And that is actually the goal of Gaudiya Vaishnavas. Raghunath Das Goswami has given his wonderful treatise known as the Manasiksha. Rupa Goswami, Sanatan Goswami, Gopala Bhatta Goswami, and all these acharyas have given wonderful, but first we have to understand our position that we are all in Maya and we have to do sadhana. Cheto Darpana Marjanam. Very important. Good chanting. Prabhupada said, minimum 16 rounds? No. He said, minimum 16 good rounds. He said. So that helps us to do our bhajana kriya, and that will eventually eradicate our anartha nivritti, and then we will actually enter into the different forms of bhakti that will be nishtha, ruchi, asakti, bhav, Krishna prem, and even within Krishna prem there are different delineations. If we ask anybody in our glorious movement, what is the goal? He says Krishna prem. Yes, but Krishna prem is not cheap. We have to do the perfect sadhana based on the teachings of His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, and then He will open the doors. Just like a loving father, He does not reveal everything to a child who is in the 5th grade or perhaps in the 10th grade about the intricacies of the business. I'm using a very material examples to make the point across. But when the child is ready, he is graduated and he has come to the level of understanding business, then he says, my dear son, join me in the office and I will explain you all the details of the business. Who is our best customer? How we talk with him, how we relate to them, how we relate with all these employees, and etc. And here are the bank accounts. We have this money where we write checks for accounts payable, and then such and such an account is used for buying material, etc. So he is given the keys to the safe. He's given the keys and the password to the bank accounts. So that is what we should aspire for. Our successes, when we can please Srila Prabhupada and our acharyas by graduating with a steady pace. Because this Krishna conscious movement is Ananda Ambudi Vardhanam. Radharani, the month of Urjeshwari, of this Kartik is dedicated to her. It is her month. And what more can I say than one beautiful verse from Prabodhananda Saraswati Pad's Radha Rasa Sudhanidhi. Prabodhananda Saraswati Pad lived in Sri Vrindavan Dham, and he composed wonderful books. The most two prominent books that I can immediately think of is Vrindavan Mahima Amrit and Radha Rasa Sudhanidhi. And in that he has mentioned, Yasya Kadapi Vasananchala Khelanutha Dhanyati Dhanya Pavanena Krutharthamani Yogindra Durgama Gatir Madhusudanoyapi Tasya Namo Astu Vrishabhanu Bhuvo Dishayapi. When I read this shloka, I was flabbergasted. This is the position of Sri Radha. He says, Prabodhananda Saraswati Pad, he says, I offer dandavats, obeisances to the direction that faces Vrishabhanu's daughter, Radharani. And when the breeze is coming from that direction and it playfully moves the edge of her garment, Radharani's garment, it playfully moves in the breeze. Lord Krishna, who cannot be attained even by the kings and the yogis, We had that shloka. Pantastu koti satvara sampragamyo vayorathapi muni pungavanam sopi asti yat prapadasimni govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami. Even by drilling the respiration by millions of years and doing pranayam, one cannot attain the lotus feet of Krishna. Not even the effulgence that emanates from the nail or toe of Krishna. So here, Prabhupada Saraswati Pad is saying that Krishna thinks his life is successful just when that breeze that is touching the veil of Radharani, when it blows and it touches him, Krishna feels, my life is successful. Yeah, and this is the position of Sri Radha. And this is what we have to understand, that if we please Radharani by performing all these wonderful activities in Kartik, automatically Damodar will be pleased. So this Damodarashtakam, it teaches a lot of things, entering into, because I have to build a sort of a stage. And if the fundamentals are nice, then we will be able to understand and relish Damodarashtakam and this Damodar Bandhan Lila, as Jiva Goswami calls it in his Gopal Champu. We will be relishing it very nicely. So what does Damodarashtakam teach? So Damodarashtakam teaches in a very subtle way Ananda Mudivardhan that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu preached in the Srishtastakam. Prabhupada continuously said, Krishna consciousness is dynamic, it is not static. If the moment it becomes static, then there is something wrong with our sadhana. That means either we are not chanting properly, or we are not respecting the Vaishnavas, or we are committing offenses. Then maybe it will even go in a reverse gear. But Krishna consciousness, every moment we should feel that Ananda. What even Krishna mentions that in the Bhagavad Gita, Brahma Bhusa Prasanna Atma. One who is situated in Krishna consciousness is always very happy. So Damodarashtakam also teaches us the famous verse of Bhagavad Gita, Sarva Dharman Parityajya, Mam Ekam Sharanam Vraja. And as we dive deeper, I will elaborate on these points and highlight them based on the teachings of the Acharyas. It teaches us the glories of Sankirtan, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mood. It teaches us that Damodarashtakam. It teaches us the Gaudiya Acharyas like Srila Prabhupada, how Sankirtan should be done and in what mood. That is what is all, it is in a very secret way imbibed in the Damodarashtakam. It teaches us about the relationships with Krishna, what one can have. And in the Bhagavatam, 3rd canto, I think chapter 31, Kapil Dev and Mother Dehuti, there is a verse, Karmana Daiva Netrena Dehu Jantu Papate Purusha Retu Kanashraya Striya Pravishta Udaram. In this material world, the jivas take birth under the supervision of the Supreme Lord, and different yonis or different the 8,400,000 species of life based on their past karma. And then we have different relationships in this material world. But in the spiritual world, there are Siddha Swarupas, or the Kaya views of Radharani, and the Siddha Jivas, where they have a relationship with Sri Krishna. And there are different relationships that one can worship Krishna. And all these relationships, they emanate from Sri Krishna Nandan Nandan. The very first acronym of the Vedanta Sutra. What is that acronym? Janmadi Asya, just these two words. What does that mean? Janam means creation. Adi means the sustenance and eventually the annihilation. Yasya, Asya, due to you, O Nandan Nandan Krishna, the original Supreme Personality of Godhead in Golok Vrindavan. The very first two words in the Srimad Bhagavatam, in the Mangalacharan, Janmadi Asya Yatovan Vayat Itaratascha Artheshwa Abhigyaswarat Tene Brahma Hridaya Adi Kavaye Mohyanti Yat Surya Tejo Vari Mridam Yatha Vinimayo Yatra Trusargo Amrusha Damna Svena Sada Nirasta Kuhakam Satyam Param Dhimahi. That Satyam Param Dhimahi that Vedvyas has revealed that Sukadeva Goswami has revealed, who is none other than the actual parrot of Radharani, who is a constant companion and associate of her, has revealed the inner meanings of the word Satyam Param Dhimahi, who is none other than Nandan Nandan Yashoda Nandan, born of Yashodama. And he is addressed in the beginning, Janmadi Asya. Janam Adi Asya. Please understand this. Everything, all the relationships, the creations, spiritual worlds, material worlds, everything emanates from Nandan Nandan, Yashoda Nandan Krishnan in Golok Vrindavan. He is the main source. As Brahmaji says in the first verse of the Ishvara Parama Krishna, Satchidananda Vigraha, Anadiradir Govinda, Sarva Karana Karanam. He is the cause of all causes. So therefore, we have to understand that even if we come to this material world, we have all these different relationships. We have the relationship of neutrality, like we have neighbors, but we have a neutral relationship. We don't go to their house, they don't come to our house, we don't serve them, and they don't serve us. We just meet them from far. Sometimes when we are cutting the grass and we say, hi, John, hi, Mary. Oh, today is a nice sunny day, eh? And they're happy, we are happy just seeing each other, looking at it, and we're happy. So that's the example of the yogis. When the yogis in a neutral relationship, they just get the darshan of Paramatma within their hearts. And when they are perfected, they're happy and they see the darshan of Lord, the Shirodakshai Vishnu or Paramatma in the hearts of everyone. That is a neutral relationship. Then the next relationship is that of Dasya Rasa. And we have that in this material world because it is there in the spiritual world. This material world is a perverted reflection of the spiritual sky. Because everything exists there, the perverted reflection exists here. Just like if I put my hand against the wall, this hand as the real object, and in back, you will see a shadow. If the hand is not there, then there will be no shadow. So similarly, this rasas of Shantras, Dasya ras meaning the ras of servitorship. We have this in our material world. We are working for somebody in the office. Somebody is our boss. Or we may have our own business. The customer is the boss. And servitorship is there. The Dasya Ras is naturally there, whether one is Krishna conscious or not Krishna conscious. It exists, but it exists in a perverted way. Then we have the relationship of the Sakhya Rasa. The Sakhya Rasa is the rasa or the relationship that is of friendship. And I need not elaborate that. We have so many different friends, school friends, college friends, we have friends at work, etc. We have so many different friends that we kind of form those relationships in our life. So that is called Sakhiras. And in the material world, the Sakhiras is also perverted. Our friend is a best friend until he is ready to give us that sense gratification. The moment he stops giving us sense gratification, then we do not call him our best friend. He says, oh, don't even take his name. I don't want to hear his name. That's how we sometimes talk about that so-called best friend that we were so proud of when we introduced. So these Sakha, the Sakya relationship also exists in the spiritual world. Then we also have the Vatsalya Rasa or the Rasa of parenthood. This parenthood Rasa or this relationship is there in this material world. We all have parents. We all have loving uncles, aunties, or those caring figures, the elderly people who treat us like our kids. And we also very lovingly call them uncle, auntie, although they may not be blood related to us. So that relationship is there. It's called Vatsalya Rasa, but it is in a perverted form. And I need not elaborate. Those relationships break immediately the moment when we do not give sense gratification to each other. But in the spiritual world, these relationships are permanent because their only goal is to give happiness to Sri Krishna. And Krishna's only goal is to give happiness to them. And that naturally comes as due to that relationship. As Krishna mentions in the Bhagavad Gita, Ye yatha mam prapadyante tam satathaiva bhajamiham. And Krishna has reciprocated with them to the fullest. As a matter of fact, that verse fails when it comes to the gopis of Vrindavan and when it comes to Radharani, which is a subject of another day, because Krishna cannot even reciprocate with them. Krishna mentions in the Srimad Bhagavatam, Sukadeva Goswami mentions that, I cannot repay you, O gopis. I cannot repay you, O Radharani. Let your own glories be your compensation. So the glories of Radharani, and that is the reason why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came. Yadi Gaurang na hoito, tabe ki hoito, kemone dharitam de. Radhara Mahima, Prema Rasa Sima, Jagat Janat Ke. If Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did not appear, Radhi Gaurang na hoito, tabe ki hoito, what would have happened? Radhara Mahima, the glories of Radharani, Jagat Janat Ke, Prema Rasa Sima, the crescendo or the zenith of Krishna Prem, how would the world have known? Yadi Gaurang na hoito, if Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did not appear, if he did not manifest himself, if Krishna did not take the Audharya avatar of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Audharya means most munificent, more munificent than any other avatars, more munificent even Vrajendra Nandan, Nandanandan, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So we have to understand all these relations. And then, of course, the fifth relationship known as the Madhurya Rasa. The Madhurya Rasa, we have that in a perverted way, boyfriends, girlfriends, husbands, wives, the lover and the beloved. Those relationships are there. But again, those have also a very perverted way, because it is a perverted reflection of the spiritual world, because everything is based on our personal sense gratification. The moment we stop giving the pleasure or sense gratification to the girlfriend or to the wife, then immediately after some time, divorces take place. And we see that it's so prominent in the West, and now it is happening, and parents are encouraging that in India. Oh, your husband told you this? You should not be listening to this nonsense. Come home, Betty. Come home, my dear daughter. Tolerance is not taught. All these Vedic principles are not taught. Obviously, I'm not propagating any kind of abuse here, but the point is that in the Golok Vrindavan or in the spiritual realm, that Madhurya Rasa is not dependent on how Krishna treats them. And that is evidence in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Sistashtakam. Last verse, Ashlishya Padaratam Pinastumam, Adarshanam Marma Harto Karotua, Yatha Tathava Vidato Lampato, Mat Prana Nathas Sa Evana Para. Whether you kick us or you embrace us, my dear Krishna, you are our Pranath, you are our life and soul. This is considered the highest mode of Sharanagati. We talk about shelter, we talk about surrender, but nobody has understood surrender as well as the gopis of Vrindavan, as well as our acharyas like Srila Prabhupada, because they are none other in their Nitya Lila Pravishta. We say that, don't we? When we say the Jai Dhwani, what do we say? Nitya Lila Pravishtom Vishnupad Paramansa Parivajak Ashtottara Shri Srimad Bhaktivedanata Swami Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Nitya Lila Pravishtom Vishnupad Paramansa Parivajak Ashtottara Shri Srimad is Divine Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. So what does Nitya Lila Pravishta Om mean? Nitya Lila means one, that Acharya who has entered into the eternal pastimes of Radha and Krishna. And all our Gaudiya Acharyas are personal servitors of Srimati Radharani, known as the Manjaris, or they are known as the Prana Sakhis of Radharani. And that is the reason they understand the bhav of Radharani. They understand that bhav, that whether Krishna, whether you kick us or embrace us. Krishna left Vrindavan when he was only 11 or 12 years old. The gopis in separation, they lived. Krishna performed his pastimes for 125 years. He lived about a good 10 years in Mathura, and then he moved everybody to Dwarka. He almost performed his Dwarka Leela for 100 years. For 100 years, he performed that Dwarka Leela, leaving the Vrajvasis in separation. So that is the mood of Mahaprabhu. That is the mood of Radharani. And that is our mood in our Gaudiya Sampradaya. Service and separation. Even when our Guru Maharaj, Srila Prabhupada, or any of the Vaishnavas that we care for, they're not present. They're always there through their Vani. Look, let's examine very quickly the Pranam Mantra of Gaur Kishoredas Babaji Maharaj. What is that? Nama Gaur Kishoraya, Sakshat Vairagya Murtaye, Vipralambar Sambode Padam Bhujayate Nama. Srila Gaur Kishoredas Babaji Maharaj was always engrossed in the separation of Radharani and Krishna in Navadvip, always chanting secluded places. Vipralambar Sambode. He was in the bhava vipralamba. And rasa ambudhi, ambudhi means ocean. He was full of that nectar of that Gaudiya rasa. So that is our actual eventual goal. Once we graduate through this sadhana bhakti, Srila Prabhupada will be so pleased. It is just like sometimes if a person or if a child or a student keeps failing the same class in the 8th grade, parents will also say, grandfather will say, Baba, I hope you pass this year. You are in the same grade for the last couple of years. So similarly, our acharyas are waiting to give us this wonderful Raganuga Bhakti once we become very pakka, once we become firm in our sadhana bhakti and we advance. And that advancement is not just sadhana bhakti, avoiding Vaishnava aparad. Then we will leaps and bounds. We will grow immensely. We will grow. That envy, that kutaniti, all the different aparads and the anarthas that are there. That anartha nivritti. That is one of the ado shraddha, sadhu sangha, bhajana kriya, anartha nivritti. That is the stage. That stage. But unfortunately, we are not going into that anartha nivritti stage. We cannot eradicate. It is like an anchor that has been dropped in the ocean, and the boat we are trying to row, it is not moving much. For the last 20 years, 30 years, 35 years, we are hearing the same, different, same old, which is nice as long as it is Harikatha. But why is there no advancement? Why aren't we graduating from Kanishta to Madhyam? And even from Kanishta to Kanishta Madhyam, Kanishta Uttam, from Kanishta Madhyam to Madhyam and Madhyam Uttam. Why can't we serve Srila Prabhupada's movement? Mahaprabhu has instructed, Prabhupada said, you all become gurus, and we can all make this movement more and more glorious. So we should make Srila Prabhupada proud by advancing and being true Rupanugas, followers of Rupa Goswami. So this Kartik month, we will dive deep into the Damodarashtakam, and we will continue this next time. It is 8:30. And I will actually enter into the Damodar Lila on next Sunday. Those who are interested, please come and relish the explanations of our acharyas. And I hope by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada and the words that I've spoken today, whatever little I know, have been pleasing to our acharyas, especially Srila Prabhupada, to our GBC member, and of course His Holiness Bhakti Marg Swami and the senior Vaishnavas and all the Vaishnavas present who have attended this today's ISKCON Niagara launch. I thank each one of you on behalf of the Bhaktivedanta Bhagavad group and the ISKCON Niagara Falls. Thank you for coming. And now I think the next part of the program is Damodarashtakam. Anup Sahu Prabhu will make the next announcements. Thank you very much. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Namam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Paschyata Deshatarine Pancha Kalpatarobhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna, everybody. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada and all Gaudiya Vaishnava Acharyas. Many congratulations to the virtual launch of ISKCON Niagara. A link of the ISKCON Niagara Falls WhatsApp group is provided in the chat box. So you can join and be a member of the WhatsApp group to have the information about the programs of ISKCON Niagara Falls. Also, a link to the Google form is also provided. Please fill in the form that will be listed in the ISKCON Niagara Falls, so that they can contact you for with the information about the programs and everything about the ISKCON Niagara Falls project. Thank you, Satchidananda Prabhu, for illuminating us with the essence of Srimad Bhagavatam, the purpose of Hare Krishna movement by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and the purpose of ISKCON movement by Srila Prabhupada. Satchidananda Prabhu also enlightened us the importance of Damodar Katha and Kartik month. If we can please Radharani, then we can definitely please Damodar. As we all know, everybody and everything in this world and all around us is a part of Sri Krishna. And Krishna is the constructor and destructor of everything. So our ultimate aim should be Krishna Bhakti and the spread and knowledge of Krishna consciousness. So in our Bhaktivedanta Bhagavata group, we weekly on Sundays, we discuss about the Bhagavatam Katha. Satchidananda Prabhu is teaching us and providing the information about the lessons in Bhagavatam Katha. So a link of the WhatsApp group of Bhaktivedanta Bhagavat group is also provided. So if you are interested, you can join to our group and have a member, and you can enjoy the spiritual teachings by Satchidananda Prabhu on the Bhagavatam Katha. So our concluding part of the program is as follows. As mentioned during earlier announcement, we will now move to the singing of Damodarashtakam by His Grace Venkat Prabhu. All are requested to sing along and offer ghee lamp to the deity of Lord Damodar, which will be displayed on the Zoom screen. After Damodarashtakam, we will open the microphone for all participants who wish to ask any questions or express their opinions and reflections. A link to the lyrics of the Damodarashtakam is provided in the chat box. You can open the link and you can sing along. Now, I would like to introduce His Grace Venkat Prabhu. Venkat Prabhu is one of the council members of ISKCON Niagara Falls. He is aspiring to take initiation from His Holiness Radhakanta Swami. He has been following ISKCON for last 10 years. His family was also instrumental in construction of ISKCON Juhu. In early days, his grandparents hosted devotees. He has head education department, IT services, ISKCON Dubai as well. He is also a part of North American communication team. He has occasionally given lectures and conducted bhakti vrikshas. His wife, Her Grace Snigdha Radhika Devi Dasi, is a disciple of His Holiness Jayapataka Swami. He is also dedicated to the cause of Srila Prabhupada's movement. It is my pleasure to invite His Grace Venkat Prabhu to start singing Damodarashtakam. Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much, Prabhu, for the introduction.
No problem.
I will read the translation of Damodarashtakam first. And meanwhile, the image of Sri Damodar can be displayed on the screen. To the Supreme Controller, who possesses an eternal form of blissful knowledge, whose glistening earrings swing to and fro, who manifested himself in Gokul, who stole the butter that the gopis kept hanging from the rafters of their storerooms, and who then quickly jumped up and ran in retreat in fear of Mother Yashoda, but ultimately caught. To that Supreme Lord, Sri Damodar, I offer my humble obeisance. Upon seeing his mother's whipping stick, he cried and rubbed his eyes again and again with his two lotus hands. His eyes were fearful and his breathing quick, and as Mother Yashoda bound his belly with ropes, she shivered in fright, and his pearl necklace shook. To this Supreme Lord, Sri Damodar, I offer my humble obeisances. Those super excellent pastimes of Lord Krishna's babyhood drowned the inhabitants of Gokul in pools of ecstasy. To the devotees who are attracted only to his majestic aspect of Narayan in Vaikuntha, the Lord herein reveals, I am conquered and overwhelmed by pure loving devotion. To the Supreme Lord Damodar, my obeisances hundreds and hundreds of times. O Lord, although you are able to give all kinds of benedictions, I do not pray to you for liberation, nor eternal life in Vaikuntha, nor any other boon. My only prayer is that your childhood pastimes may constantly appear in my mind. O Lord, I do not even want to know your feature of Paramatma. I simply wish that your childhood pastimes may ever be enacted in my heart. O Lord, the cheeks of your blackish lotus face, which is encircled by locks of curling hair, have become reddened like bimba fruits due to Mother Yashoda's kisses. What more can I describe than this? Millions of opulences are of no use to me, but may this vision constantly remain in my mind. O unlimited Vishnu, O Master, O Lord, be pleased upon me. I am drowning in an ocean of sorrow and am almost like a dead man. Please shower the rain of mercy on me, uplift me, and protect me with your nectarian vision. O Lord Damodar, in your form as a baby, Mother Yashoda bound you to a grinding stone with a rope for tying cows. You then freed the sons of Kuvera, Manigriva, and Nalakuver, who were cursed to stand as trees, and you gave them the chance to become your devotees. Please bless me in this same way. I have no desire for liberation into your effulgence. O Lord, the entire universe was created by Lord Brahma, who was born from your abdomen, which was bound with a rope by Mother Yashoda. To this rope, I offer my humble obeisances. I offer my obeisances to your most beloved Srimati Radharani and to your ultimate unlimited pastimes. Shri Satyavata Muni ki jai, Damodarashtakam ki jai. Okay, let's sing. Namamishwaram Satchidananda Lasat Kundalam Gokule Brajamanam Yashoda Biyolukala Davamanam Param Drishtva Madhyanta Todrita Gopya Rudantam Muhurnetram Yugmam Rejantam Karambojayogmena Satankanetram Muhushwasakam Patrirekhankakantha Stitagraivam Damodaram Bhaktivedanata Tidrekshvalila Bherananta Kunde Swagosham Nimajantam Makyapayantam Tadiyeshitagneshu Bhaktirjitatvam Puna Prematastam Sata Vritivande Varam Deva Moksham Vadim Va Nachanam Vrineham Varishadapiha Idam Te Vapurnatha Gopalabalam Sadame Manasya Virashtam Kimanyai Idam Te Mukambojam Madhyantanilair Pritam Kundalai Snigdharaktai Shabopya Mohoschumbitam Bimbaraktatharam Me Manasya Virastamalam Lakshalabhai Namo Deva Damodarananta Vishnu Prasiddha Prabodhukha Jaladimaham Kripadrishti Vrishati Dinam Batanu Grihani Shamamagyami Dakshidesha Kuveratma समाजौ बद्धमूर्त्यैव यद्वत् त्वया मोचितौ भक्तिभाजौ कृतौ च तथा प्रेम भक्तिं स्वकाम्ये प्रयच्छ नमो शीघ्रहो मेऽस्ति दामोदरे नमस्ते स्तुदाम्ने स्फुरदीप्तिदाम्ने त्वदीयोदराय विश्वस्य दाम्ने नमो राधिकायै त्वदीया प्रियायै नमो अनन्तलीलाय देवाय तुभ्यम् नमो राधिकायै त्वदीया प्रियायै नमो अनन्तलीलाय देवाय तुभ्यम् Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. श्री दामोदराष्टकम की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय।
Thank you, Venkat Prabhu, for singing the Damodarashtakam for us. Thanks to Satchidananda Prabhu for the Gopi Geet and enlightening us with the Damodar Katha. Thanks Rudradev Prabhu and Vaishnav Das Prabhu for providing the information about the ISKCON Niagara. And thank you all the devotees for attending this event. My humble obeisances to all. Congratulations to the virtual launch of ISKCON Niagara. Once again, I would like to request you to join the ISKCON Niagara WhatsApp group. The link to the group is provided in the chat box. Please join so that you will have all the information available to you about the programs of ISKCON Niagara. So now we will open the mic for questions and answers. And if anybody have any reflections and comments on the program, please provide us. Thank you.
So, Hare Krishna. Again, my many thanks to all the participants on behalf of ISKCON Niagara Falls and Bhaktivedanata Bhagavata group. If you all have any reflections or any comments, one by one, you all can definitely come on in and please.
Well, when
one at a time, please.
temple opening.
Temple,
When
that I will ask Vaishnav Prabhu to address this. Vaishnav Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Can you please repeat the question?
One second, Prabhuji. Mataji, what is your name? Because we would like to unmute everybody else except you and Vaishnav Prabhu. Mataji, your name? Mataji, your name, please. Pravina Mata. Okay. Okay. Can you just mute everybody except Ram? R-A-M.
Amen.
Yes. Yes, Ramji.
મેં તો નહીં પૂછ્યું
એનો પેલા પર ચાલી ગયો હે
પણ કેવી રીતે ચાલી જાય
તે પેલું કર્યું એ દબાઈ
લખાય તો ચાલી જાય ને
Ram Prabhu is unmuted. Again muted.
એ કરવું છે બતાવી દે પ્લીઝ આપણે આગથી મળે સાહેબ
Satchidananda Prabhuji, you are on mute.
Okay, can you mute Ram, please? Because they're talking in the background.
Yeah, Ram is now mute.
Okay, Vaishnav Das Prabhu, unmute him, please. Vaishnav Prabhu, the question was, I heard the question, when are we opening the temple?
Okay, the first.
Vaishnav Prabhu, do you have two phones sitting next to each other?
Yeah. One more.
Just cut off one phone, please. That's why we are getting a feedback.
Okay. I'll do it right away. Are we okay?
Not yet. Why is your voice is vibrating, repeating many times?
Okay. Now
you're good. Now you're very nice. You're good.
Okay. The question was, when are we opening the new temple?
Yes.
Okay, great. It's a great question because the first thing we need to deal with this COVID problem, which we don't know how long it is going to take for this pandemic to subside and when we'll get the clearance to hold gatherings in public places. So the opening of the temple, one, is subject to the COVID being terminated or put out of our misery. And the other thing is we need to raise funds for this future temple. So there's two things to consider. One, COVID, and the second is the fundraising. And hopefully when we get the support from all the well-wishers, we'll embark upon building the temple. But it shouldn't be too long. It shouldn't be too long because we're going to accelerate the program and have this temple up and running as soon as the COVID is over. We will have a place of worship where people can come to.
Thank you so much, Vaishnava Prabhu. Vaishnava Prabhu, I think what happened is you got your video got muted. If you want to come back on, and you can actually, there's a camera icon. You just have to click on it that way. Yes. Anybody else may want to ask something? Unmute everybody. Yes, Anup Prabhu, go ahead. You have a question.
Yeah, where will be the location of the temple?
Again, Vaishnava Prabhu, this is a question for you.
Okay, this is ISKCON Niagara, and obviously we will have the temple right here in the Niagara Falls region, in any location that's suitable for the public to access and something that's with close proximity to the falls itself. So hopefully not too much of a travel for those people living in the Niagara region.
Anybody else? Any reflections on the launch? Any questions? Please feel free. Like we always do it on every Sunday. We need to unmute everybody. 1 second. Okay, it's done. So you can unmute. I think Vaishnava Prabhu, your double phones are on still. Anybody else may want to unmute their microphone and make some comment, reflections. You can do it one at a time. So there is one suggestion here that came on the chat. Vaishnav Prabhu, make a location where people can easily walk from the tourist destinations, like the falls, to the temple. So yes, definitely. Right now we are working on it. The main thing is the COVID. Once that's done and it's safe, we will obviously stay in touch. And if you can just join the ISKCON Niagara Falls group, you will get the updates on a regular basis. Anybody else has anything to say? Unmute your mic. Once you're done, you unmute yourself once you're done speaking. Thank you. Yes, Vaishnav Prabhu, I think you wanted to say something. Anybody else? While Vaishnav Prabhu is, there's some technical difficulty. There's a microphone, Mataji, you can just click on it once and it will become unmute. There's a red microphone icon. Just click on it once. Vaishnav Prabhu, are you trying to say something? Okay. Anybody else in the meantime? There is a link that has been posted by Venkat Prabhu, a Google Docu link. You can click on it and then you can fill out your information so we can give you continuous updates. So please go into the chat. Excuse me. Please go into the chat and fill out that form, the Google. Yes, anybody else? Nani Mataji, you want to say something?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Mata.
I'm so happy to be here today and with everybody. When we were offering ghee lamps to Radha Damodar, it was amazing feeling. And you sang so well, Prabhuji. It was amazing. And also Bhakti Charu Maharaj, I want to pay respects. Last night I was hearing him from Noida. He was singing Namami Ishwaram. It's beyond, I should call it, like it was so touching. It was so touching. It was like liquefied joy, sorrow, all put together. Hare Krishna. And also I'm happy about ISKCON Niagara. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Mataji, for your valuable comments and input. And you may you have a wonderful Kartik.
Thank you.
Yes, Falgun Prabhu. Hare Krishna, Falgun Das Prabhu. Falgun Das Prabhu is a disciple of Bhakti Vikas Maharaj and he's joining us from Edmonton. Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, thank you very much. A wonderful lecture. Unfortunately, I joined later, like an hour ago, but it was pretty good, and definitely I will be continue next week too. It's a really a good lecture, and here everyone is listening you, like as I mentioned, the Dakshina Mataji, her and everyone is here, right? So we just put the cell phone in between and we were listening. And many congratulations for the new. I'm not sure it's a center or temple. I just hear right now that planning to make a temple. That's from my heart. It's a good luck, and I will like waiting like when I will be there and associate with you other devotees and see the temple in the future soon. Thank you very much, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Falgun Prabhu, thank you so much for your valuable input. And hopefully when you come again on this side, we will have something, a place of worship. And our hearts is a temple, no matter where you are. You know, right now with this COVID, you know, something good we learned. There are a lot of bad things, but good thing is we can connect to everyone in the comfort of our homes. So we are just a click away. ISKCON Niagara Falls is a click away, and we will keep you updated on all programs, virtual, and obviously when physically things happen. And my humble obeisances to all the devotees in Edmonton. Hare Krishna to all of you. Thank you for attending and supporting the Niagara Falls launch. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna, Jai Shri Prabhupada. Thank you. Yes. So anybody else would like to participate, give your blessings or comment, reflections on today's program and the concept that we have at hand. I would appreciate, ISKCON Niagara Falls would appreciate your valuable feedback. Please unmute your mic. Falgun Prabhu, you can mute yours now. So that way we do not have any background noise. We just maintain the protocol. Yes, I hear somebody unmuted.
Yes, Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Yes, I'm really happy, to see this center coming in Niagara Falls. It's really nice. It will attract a lot of new people, and we can spread the mission of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Srila Prabhupada. It's really nice. So happy. And I will pray to the Lord, whatever that has to happen, it will happen quickly and as soon as possible.
Is this Lilojini Mata?
Yes.
Thank you so much for your best wishes and blessings. And may you have a wonderful Kartik Mataji.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yes, I see. Who is that? Sujay Prabhu, Haribol.
Hare Krishna.
Uttam Shlok Prabhu. Uttam Shlok Prabhu is from Chicago.
I'm from Chicago.
He is a disciple of His Holiness Radha Govind Maharaj Ji, and we have had some good association with him. Yes, Prabhuji. Welcome to ISKCON Niagara Falls launch.
Many congratulations to you guys, and you launched a very nice program today. And we are excited to see the Niagara Falls ISKCON. So many people are coming around the globe, and they will be taking advantage of Harinam on that side. So that will spread a lot of Harinam all over the world, globe. So it's a very nice and very key locations where you can spread Krishna consciousness over there. So I was very excited. I see all the program today and launched it very well. So many congratulations to you guys over there. And hoping more blessings of Prabhupada is coming in your ways. And all other Maharaj can also in future can invite them on this launching or any other programs. So they can give the speech also about this new inventions gonna happen, in Niagara Falls. Yes, so many blessings to you guys from Prabhupada is already there. That's why this program was happened very nicely today. Many congratulations. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Yeah, thank you, Uttam Shlok Prabhu. Excuse me. Thank you for your best wishes. Thank you for your best wishes, and please stay connected with us. Of course, I know you come to the Bhaktivedanta Bhagavat group, and you've been a part of all the different Bhagavatam classes that I've been fortunate to conduct, and appreciate your presence today. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Very nice.
Thank you. So I think Sujay Prabhu wants to say something.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, congratulations.
Thank you, Sujay Prabhu. Sujay Prabhu is also a wonderful devotee from the Chicago temple, and he has joined us today. And he always joins the Bhaktivedanta Bhagavat group. So thank you so much. I wish you and your family a wonderful, happy Kartik. Thank you,
Prabhu. Haribol.
Haribol, Haribol, Haribol. Anybody else would like? You need to unmute. Once you finish speaking, devotees, I request you to mute yourself. That way there is no background noise and that way we can smoothly hear other speakers. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yes, Hare Prabhu.
Yeah, with the devotees in the board of directors and the council, along with you, it will go fantastic. Things will happen definitely. So it's going to come along in a very good way, and that will be best. I think that will be a very good place to have a non-stop chanting of 24 hours Harinam.
Thank you, Hare Prabhu, and thank you for your wonderful, your wonderful comments earlier about Srila Prabhupada, about the ISKCON movement. Actually, Hare Prabhu is a wonderful devotee. The last 11 years that I've known after I moved from the US, every year I've been involved in some kind of seva with the Jagannath Temple, Canada. And as he mentioned, rest is history, that we started the Bhaktivedanata Bhagavad group, Jagannath Katha. And for the last 7 months or 8 months, we have been doing it on a continuous basis every Sunday. So I believe the link is also there to join the Bhaktivedanta Bhagavad group. For those who are interested in deep studies of Srimad Bhagavatam, you are more than welcome to join. And of course, for the next 3 weeks, it will be purely on Damodar Lila and Damodarashtakam. Thank you again for your blessings, Prabhu. Thank you for your best wishes. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. You may unmute yourself.
We are blessed to have you, Prabhuji. We are really blessed to have you. We are really fortunate to have you.
I'm blessed to have your associations also. Thank you. Yes. Anybody else would like to share their feelings, their...
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. This is Gopal Prabhu. Hare Krishna, Gopal Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Dandavad Pranam, Prabhuji. And
all glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Thank you for the nice lecture. And I'm glad that Krishna's network is following us. So now even Niagara, the network is following. So at least we know where to like after the tourism, the material tourism, at least there is a spiritual tourism as well in Niagara. So like wonderful. And thank you for the wonderful discourse. One thing is I wanted to ask a small question. Like
yes, Prabhu, go ahead.
In Puri, like people, they follow the Kartik month by especially doing the dana dharma and attending the arti, like couple of times arti, and usually the arti happens at 3:30 or 4 o'clock in morning. So that's because of the spiritual place, I mean dham. What the normal devotee can do in like thousands of kilometers away here?
Very good question. If you offer just the ghee lamp to Damodarji, that is sufficient. I had mentioned earlier, I don't know if you were in the lecture when I mentioned this part, that during the Damodarashtakam, in this Kartik Leela, if one offers a ghee lamp to Lord Damodar based on the different shastras, it has been mentioned in the Skand Puran, it has been mentioned that millions and millions of births of sinful reactions will vanish. Also, those who offer just a lamp, no mantras, nothing, no pious deeds, no purity, everything becomes perfect when a person offers a lamp, or a ghee lamp to Damodarji in the month of Kartik. So one can offer it in the home, in the temple, doesn't matter. Everybody can do that. If you don't even have a DT of Damodarji, just open your computer, your laptop, download, just do a Google Damodar, and you will see beautiful pictures of Yashoda Damodar and Damodar tied to the mortar. And you can offer a picture just like what we did today and gave an opportunity for everyone to participate when the Damodarashtakam was being sung. So no worries. This is like a lottery, spiritual lottery, that everybody will get. So I hope that answers your question. Is there anybody else who may want to contribute, like the Vaishnava Prabhu, to this question? Like he is thousands of miles away from Jagannath Puri. Gopal Prabhu is all from Jagannath Puri too. So if you want to, Vaishnava Prabhu is also one of our very nice preachers, and he can contribute to this question if he is available and there's no technical difficulties. Vaishnava Prabhu, are you there?
I'm here. Thank you.
Yes, Prabhu. Yes, Prabhu. So Gopal Prabhu, he is a very active member from the beginning for the last 7 months in our Bhaktivedanta Bhagavat group. And he has some very nice, curious questions. One of the questions that he just asked is about thousands of miles away from Jagannath Puri. In Jagannath Puri, early morning, they offer at 3:30 Mangalarti, lamp to the Lord, and there's a lot of donations and charity, and all these things are done in the Dham. But sitting here in Ontario, in Toronto, how we can avail of some spiritual benefits, especially in the month of Kartik.
That was a good question. And everybody loves to be in Vrindavan during the month of Kartik, birthplace of Lord Krishna. And Prabhu was saying that it would have been nice to be in Jagannath Puri and do these vrats. Some of the people in Puri, when they are there, even though they may be thinking about this performance of this yajna, their minds may not be 100% focused on what they do. Location is not a determination of the purity of your offering. It is what's in your heart and the purity of your consciousness that will determine how your offering is received by the Lord. So location is not the prime factor. It's more the bhakti with which you make the offering. That's what's going to count. So as Satchid Prabhu said, in the month of Damodar, if one does offer a lamp to the photograph or the deity of Yasoda Nandana, everything will be fine. Everything will be fine. But it must be done with a pure level of consciousness.
Gopal Prabhu, did you get your answers? Are you satisfied?
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you. Thank you very much, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Vaishnava Prabhu. Yes, Gopal Prabhu, please mute yourself and let us give somebody else a chance if they have any questions, comments, reflections. Please unmute yourself and then please come on. Is Nandpran Prabhu here today? Okay. Yes, anybody, any other devotees, any persons would like to? Again, many thanks to all of you, and I'm happy Kartik. So I can recognize a few devotees. They are a little shy. Sometimes I have to call out their names. Anshuya Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. We are so.
Anshuya Mataji is a very dedicated, her husband Gajendra Prabhu and Anshuya Mataji, they are actually participating from the Dallas area, Texas. Hare Krishna Mataji, welcome.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. We are so blessed that in Kartik Mass we are having your Gopi Geet and plus Damodarashtakam. It was so much like blessings from Krishna.
Thank you.
Please
convey my Hare Krishna and happy Kartik to your good husband Gajendra Prabhu. Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Yes, Mataji, you can mute your microphone. Anybody else would like to? Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, this is Sanatan Sevak Das.
Sanatan Sevak Prabhu, Danvat Pranam, all glories.
It was a wonderful, wonderful class, Prabhu, as always. As always.
Sanatan Sevak Prabhu is such a wonderful devotee.
No, Prabhu.
It takes me back to many years, very humble. He has served the Brampton Temple so nicely. And I'm so always happy to see your smiling face. So thank you for your participating today, Prabhu, and giving us your associations. Yes,
No. We are blessed, Prabhu. We are blessed to participate. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Danvat pranams, all glories to Krishna Prabhupada.
All glories to Guru Ankar. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yes, anybody else? We have some devotees here. Prabhu Deva Ramachandra Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Satchidananda Prabhuji. It's a wonderful, wonderful discourse. As usual, I always like and love your discourses. I always get mesmerized with your wonderful explanation of all the Prabhupada's literature. So that's fantastic. And we are so delighted to hear the news that ISKCON is coming up in Niagara Falls, which is another great land for us. We can always come there. That's fantastic. We are looking forward for that. Thanks for this mood for creating among all our devotees. Thank you so much, Prabhu.
Thank you so much, Prabhu Deva Prabhu. Prabhu Deva Prabhu and his wife are wonderful devotees. They have been associating with the Brampton Temple and ISKCON Toronto. And Prabhu, all of you, just not you, but since you brought this up, this is the house of Srila Prabhupada. All are welcome. We will never make a distinction where you are from or which temple or what walk of life you are on. Prabhupada built a house where everybody can live. And that is our motto, that is our vision, and that is our service. So thank you for participating and wishing you and your family a happy Kartik, Prabhuji. Danvat pranams.
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you so much.
Anybody else would like to? Don't feel shy, whatever your heart tells, it would be nice. The most important thing is we have to encourage each other. We all have some problems. We are full of inebrities. We are all in Maya. None of us, if we think that we are beyond Maya, we're making a big mistake. So we need the help and encouragement of each other so that we can grow together. That is the mission of Srila Prabhupada. And closer to Krishna. That's what Prabhupada mentioned in the 7 statements, the ISKCON, purpose of ISKCON. So anybody else, please feel free.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes, Rudradev Prabhu.
Yes.
Yes, Prabhu.
There were 2 things I would submit. One is that as soon as possible, we will take a place on rent, preferably walking distance. And once we have the place to start, a humble beginning, then we'll go for other plans, which Vaishnav Prabhu and you and Venkat Prabhu have discussed. This is one. Second is we'll do all activities permitted within the ISKCON principles. And yoga and meditation are not our part, but as an outreach, sometimes we do. That's what His Holiness Bhaktimarg Swami also, whenever he goes to yoga studios in a new city to connect. So they'll be just to connect, not our mainstream. Because somebody said they are not our activities. They are not, but as an outreach, we can do it.
Yes, Prabhu.
Okay.
Wonderful points, Prabhuji. And thank you so much for actually heading this project. You and Vaishnav Prabhu are the main pillars of ISKCON Niagara Falls. You're such a a couple words about Rudradev Prabhu on my personal experience, that he is such a humble devotee, trying to bring everybody together. His services, his mood, and I wish, I can learn a lot of things from Rudradev Prabhu personally. And he's never offended by anybody. This is one of the beautiful qualities of a good Vaishnava. And I'm sure we will be growing leaps and bounds under your guidance, Prabhu, and with your association. Thank you again.
Thank you, Prabhuji. We are all together.
Yes, Prabhu. Thank you. We also have, there was a message from Mamta Mataji, wishing us all a happy Kartik. You may come on and say a few words, Mamta Mataji. Thank you for being here. You can unmute yourself. Her message just popped here. Hare Krishna, happy Kartik to all. Happy Kartik to you and Anjali. Nice lecture as always. Thank you, Mamta Mataji. Thank you so much. And a very happy Kartik to you and your family. Yes, anybody else before we conclude for today?
Yeah. Hare Krishna, Vaishnav Prabhuji, Rudradev Prabhuji. We are there with you. It'll be a very good temple. Whatever help you need, we will be there.
And that is the mood of Harihar Prabhu. I've known him. You call him at 2 a.m. in the morning, anybody, he will immediately rush. All the Vaishnava qualities that are described in the Shastra, I actually see it in Harihar Prabhu. Humble, service, motivated by nothing, never motivated by any wealth or anything like that. He just wants to please Lord Jagannath. He just wants to please Vajendra Nandan Krishna. And we are very happy. Actually, this Bhaktivedanta Bhagavat group has a lot of devotees from the Jagannath Temple, Canada, Ashim Prabhu and Anup Prabhu. They are the pillars of the Bhaktivedanta Bhagavat group, relentlessly serving with their IT knowledge, with their becoming the master of ceremony, making the closing statements. And this is such an encouragement. This is how our movement grows. And they have taken a very deep liking for the teachings of Srila Prabhupada. And I'm so happy. I'm so happy that this itself, if there's a little bit of reward here that that I see here, is that they have taken to this Krishna consciousness and Srila Prabhupada's movement very seriously. And all glories to Srila Prabhupada. That's all I can say right now. Thank you again, Harihar Prabhu and Asim Prabhu and Anup Prabhu and all the devotees who are present. Thank you so much. I only hope that you all can, because of COVID, we are not able to meet physically, but we are not far, just a click away every Sunday. And obviously, as we evolve with ISKCON Toronto, ISKCON Niagara Falls, more programs will be announced. And stay connected. Just join the group. Just click on the link and join the group. You're welcome to join, and you will receive. So sitting in the comfort of your homes, you can just simply have association and participate with devotees. Sat Sang. Sat means eternal. Sangha means association. That Sangha that takes us to eternality, to Satyam Param Dhimai Sri Krishna, is the real Sangha. Everything else will fall short. Hare Krishna. Thank you again.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Harihar Prabhu. Okay, so if anybody else has to say anything, then otherwise we will wrap today's program up. And we wish you all a wonderful Kartik. So, thank you.
Prabhuji, I just want to add, thanks to Venkat Prabhu and Snigdha Radhika Mataji and Vaishnav Prabhu. So we are so excited with the wonderful congregation over there, and we look forward to have a congregation over there.
May I know who is speaking, Prabhuji?
Prabhudev Prabhuji.
Prabhudev Prabhuji. Okay. Thank you, Prabhudev Prabhu. Yes, indeed. Very well observed, and thank you again for your association. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So So Vaishnadas Prabhu, would you like to make the final concluding statement? And then we can wrap up, since nobody else would like to, at this moment, say anything. I call upon Vaishnadas Prabhu, the president of ISKCON Niagara Falls, to say the last few words on the first day of the month of Kartik, on the launch of this auspicious ISKCON Niagara Falls.
We just like to express our gratitude to the council members and all those who participated in the program today, to Ashwin, to Anup, Harihar, Rudradev, and Satchidananda, and all those who tuned in. Will say a very big thank you. A very beautiful Kartik month to you and your family, and stay safe during this COVID pandemic. And thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. So, Hari Bol. Happy Kartik. Happy Kartik. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna. Hare Hare. Hare Ram. Hare Ram. Ram Ram. Hare Hare. Gaur Premanande. Hari Hari Bol.
Hari Bol.